What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Untitled Gaming Channel. I'm AJ Kells. How y'all doing? We are back with The Council, Episode 2, kind of stealth released. I really haven't been seeing a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people saying anything about this. I'm stoked for this because I thought Episode 1 was really cool. I think the concept for this game is really neat. By the way, we're doing... I was going to say Episode 2, Where is My Mother? But that's I can't remember the name of this episode. We'll just continue here in a second once I finish with my yapping. I think this game is really neat. It's a narrative adventure game in the vein of like Telltale games. Yet there's RPG elements in there. Go back, check the previous videos up till now, and you'll see what I mean by that. A really neat concept. At the end of the last video, we kind of found out that Emily is she's a twin and trying to find her other twin or something. I can't remember exactly what was going on with her, but her and Louis kind of made some sort of like alliance. There we go. Then when we were returning, we had I guess I had one of two options. I could have either gone with Emily and that would have ended in like a romantic let's say doing it scene. I'm trying to talk and untangle my headphones from my controller wire. But yeah, so that was one option. But we decided to go talk to Abigail Adams and make friends with her because it really seemed like she needed our help. And then we ended up getting drugged, and I think we're about to get murdered. So here we go, Episode 2 of The Council. Let's begin.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find
God damn. Every time you see that guy's face.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Wait, why does his mom only have one hand? Am I forgetting something from the first episode? All right. I kind of talked about this in the last video, but if you haven't, if you don't know what the hell this is, at the start of every mission, we can equip a manuscript, and this manuscript will then convert bonus points to us in our skill trees. So let's see here. What can I use? Do we have anything that I can use to get logic? Yes, I can get 1 point in logic. Okay, so we'll take that, and that'll give us... because I can't read. Yep, that'll give us level 1, so we'll have all of these skills, and I guess we'll start looking for something in the one skill I don't have, which is linguistics. Which I don't think... Yeah, I don't think we have a skill book in that. Oh, wow. The encyclopedia, that'll give us science, linguistics, and erudition. Am I pronouncing that correctly? These have already been read, and I've already been given those skill points. Nice thing about this is once we get these skill points, we retain them. So we'll equip all those, and seeing if there's anything else that we really have. Yeah, like I said, if you want some of the finer points about all these systems and everything, go check out the previous videos.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you
Well, what the hell?
Mother. Unfortunately, I am now confronted with another problem, which I would rather have done without. You see, last night, Miss Adams also went missing.
Okay. I'm gonna put money that we're gonna have a flat. We're Tarantinoing this is my guess. Oh, because my questioning level is so high. I think my
And why is
it
that?
won't cost me anything. Sweet.
I have had my people searching for her all over the island. Alas, to no avail. It so happens that both her mental and her physical health are extremely fragile. I'm worried that the same thing happened to her as to your mother. Also, I would appreciate it very much if you could tell me what you were doing on the floor in her room in the early hours
It's
of
quite
the
normal.
morning.
I can explain everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. You see, Sir Gregory is about to arrive, and he's taken Elizabeth's disappearance very, very seriously. Please, reassure him so that we can talk about your mother.
A home can screw off. All right, I guess we aren't gonna Tarantino this. I thought.
See you a moment before we begin. In private.
Let's step outside a moment.
I honestly thought Abigail was about to, like, murder
Take
us.
a few moments.
Or whatever, so I guess she just knocked us unconscious and then ran away. Yeah, we're gonna...
Let's take this chance to look around.
Yeah, we're not gonna just sit here and not do anything. Alright, royal jelly, so there we go. We can boost our health if we need. Or our action points. Whoa, some frame rate drop there.
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Yeah, game still looks a bit stiff, but man, I really dig it. I'm just gonna keep saying it. I really dig the title. Close a witness statements of guest Bonaparte in Hillsborough. When asked, what were we doing yesterday evening, Monsieur Bonaparte replied, after talking with Lord Mortimer, I spent the evening playing cards with Sir Gregory, Mr. Washington, and His Eminence, there we go, Piaggi. Sir Gregory won. When asked, did you notice anything strange, Monsieur Bonaparte replied, at daybreak I thought I saw someone on the balcony but couldn't see who it was. Statement of Duchess Hillsborough. When asked what were we doing this yesterday evening, I spent the evening in Monsieur de Richet's company. We admired the works exhibited in Manor Gallery. While going up to bed, we ran into Miss Adams. As I was tired, I left Monsieur de Richet and Miss Adams in conversation and went to bed. When asked, did you notice anything strange throughout the evening, the Duchess replied, no, not that I remember. Come out of the trial innocent? What the? So this is a trial?
Sit back down, Dewey.
Oh, great.
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man.
Gregory, Louis told me we needn't be concerned.
Of course. Monsieur de Richet, the situation seems to escape your grasp, so I won't beat about the bush. Did you kill Elizabeth Adams?
Oh, confrontation. Okay. No, I did not. Yeah, questioning. So, because my level is high, won't cost me anything.
Elizabeth is dead?
No, now let us remain calm. We do not yet know, Gregory, precisely what has happened to our poor Elizabeth.
I beg your pardon? So what are you accusing me of then?
We must remain calm, Gregory. We have found no evidence that would suggest that Elizabeth has been murdered. For the time being, she has only disappeared. Let's stick to the facts, if you please.
Well, where is she then?
Louis' eyes are kind of freaky to me with the, that they're just that striking green. They're sisters. Why does this matter to you? Cost me 3 points.
Technically, I'm simply incapable of telling you where she might be. And we never talked about her destination. What I can say is that the last time I saw Elizabeth, she was in her room, and she just decided to leave the island.
Gregory, you must admit that just because Louis doesn't know where Elizabeth is, does not prove that something's happened to her.
Thanks for the assist, dude.
Damnation, William. This is a fiasco. Sir, you don't seem to realize just how serious this is.
Let's try and remain calm, Gregory. In any case, it would be far better if Elizabeth really has left the island, as Louis says. Why do you think she wanted to leave?
She was terrorized by my mother's presence here. Just the thought of coming face to face with her was unbearable.
Did she tell you why?
Yes, she brought the subject up.
I'm sorry, Louis. It couldn't have been easy to hear.
For your sake, I sincerely hope that she got there safely.
Yeah.
Monsieur de Richet, I apologize if my words seemed a little abrupt. I dare not think what would happen if Elizabeth came across your mother on the island. Your generosity may well cost you dearly.
I understand, my lord. I certainly regret it.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Alright, let's see here. Does it often? She isn't missing, is she?
Missing, you know.
What? What do you mean?
My mother has left traces in every nook and cranny of your island, my lord. She's definitely here. Now, what worries me most is why she doesn't show herself.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
I help a captain. Did my mother sell
Did
arms?
my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
Yeah, I think that was a more interesting
Mother's aim
dialogue
was
option.
not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
For a buy? No idea.
Only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I am sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Maybe she's lost her mind. Yeah, I think...
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
The only one... Okay, let's see. I don't know much about Volney. Adams was here as well. Gregory. It's kind of obfuscate. I don't want to try and push blame onto anyone because I might need them later.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I feel like we're not going to get anything if we keep talking about the disappearance. Let's figure out a little bit more about the relationship.
You know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Whitney's cotton gin, Treaty of Jassy. Let's go with the cotton gin.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Famous papal bully of Pope Gregory VIII. I know nothing of the Crusades.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades.
I think I have high levels of erudition.
Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol.
Oh, that vision we had.
Gregory could
Sorry.
intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
Excuse yourself or lie to him. I'm gonna lie.
I see. I might be about to find a trace of her passage. Sorry, Mother, but I don't want him on my back. You'll have to take the blame for me.
I can't see how Sarah could have done this, but then I can't think of any other solution either.
I'll take a closer look.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we know that vision that we had of him, of his mother shooting Emily.
Just opposite Mortimer's study.
Of of his mother shooting Emily. It was actually his mother shooting Emily's twin sister. I still don't get that thing when we were seeing that thing with all of them standing I have no idea actually where I just walked into. Ooh.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is on to us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
What was I saying? Oh, that very opening scene where his mother didn't have that hand. I don't remember that happening in any scene we saw, but I could be misremembering something. I'm just gonna reveals vulnerabilities and immunities, resource effort points, skill use is free, golden elixir. Okay. Beep beep do. Anything else?
Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortar world must ripen in arrays.
I get a look in the mirror. Where am I? Okay, so this is the. That's Abigail's room, Bonaparte, and my room. Okay. Okay, these are all the rooms I think that I've been in. Okay. Let's keep exploring a little bit. What's I'm trying to remember. Carmelite water. Okay. That's a good one cuz that's bleh. I can't speak. The Carmelite water is really good for in confrontations because they'll give you a free skill use without having to spend your action points.
The door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
Okay, could use all of that with subterfuge. Force the door open with agility. Let's use our logic.
I need something to help me get the key that fell on the floor. The door was closed from the inside. Would Mother have provided something within reach to recover it? I've
totally lost my train of thought there. Collector coin.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortal... What is this disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Okay, so that's got to help us get the key from the other side of the door, if I'm correct.
We'll see if it works.
Haha.
It's open.
Alright, give me a second. Let's see here. That's our character map, journal. Still waiting on that last guy, but I think we've read all of these other ones. Okay, so Mortimer, immunities, conviction, questioning, immune to occultism, don't know, immunities, conviction in politics, vulnerable to psychology, immune to logic. Alright. If I remember correctly, the servants are, like, vulnerable to everything.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Pick both locks, use left key, use left and right key. Ooh, multiple keys.
The drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Rini. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Alright, well that was useless. Another coin.
The New Testament.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know my Bible that well.
This book is incredible.
Oh, Gutenberg Bible.
I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
It's a Gutenberg Bible, meaning it's a, I believe like one of the first Bibles printed by Gutenberg, the inventor of the printing press.
This volume
Words.
First edition by Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible. A volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
He says Glutenberg, didn't he? Am I losing my mind? Okay, so must find savior. Zonda was trust my faith in the man with the sword.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini.
Okay, what do I know about this
St. John
apostle?
is known as the youngest of Christ's apostles. Well, we often give credit to St. John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible.
Alright, well, that doesn't help me.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Alright, real quick before I dive into that. Unlock some talents or something. What was I looking for? Traits. There we go. Lawyer. +1 conviction. Convince. Okay, what was that last? I picked up a trait then. Bookworm. Oh, sweet. I can equip another manuscript. Awesome.
Painting of St. Mark. from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
Again, I don't know my Bible stories that well.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
And wait, which one?
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
Okay, so he's the 13th. Maybe that's something important. Yeah, again,
Let's come back later.
The big weakness here is me just not knowing anything about the Bible.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. It looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
I already can't remember which one is this.
Painted by Guido
Okay,
Reni.
Paul. He had a different reaction to Paul than the other ones. Something of Paul. Galatians, Epistle to the Romans, Corinthians. Jesus.
Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men, for all have sinned.
Okay, I don't think that's what we're looking for. Trust my faith. Man with the sword. Who the hell is the man with the sword?
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
My head hurts.
St. John is known as the youngest of Christ's apostles, when we often give credit to St. John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible.
Okay, man with the sword. Again, when I remember the stuff about the Bible, was there anything about a sword that I know? Past. Maybe.
And ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin.
I hate this.
Saying with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing.
Okay. There's gotta be something here that I'm missing. Man with the sword, but I can't really figure out what exactly they mean by sword. There's Dante's Paradise in there, and I'm not sure if that has anything to do with anything.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Can I get one of those other things that I... Okay. So maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe it's something to do with Paul. All these are just random Bible verses.
For you are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
That doesn't do any... okay.
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
I feel really stupid here, because I have no idea what the hell's happening.
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look, here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. Prussian? Volner? I must have a word with him.
Okay.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan.
I'm checking something because it mentions Mark, and there's no other character in this game named Mark, so I'm gonna go through these.
Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet.
Okay.
Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Well, no, that was useful.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Follow the first group to Mark.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
I'm checking to see if there's going to be another option to mess with this, because like he's saying, somebody messed with these recently. Is this... I can't remember which ones...
St. John is
it's John.
Of Christ's apostles. Well, we often give credit to St. John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible.
Okay, so we have John and Matthew. Any of these guys Mark?
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Reni.
Oh, and nothing about him. Okay. Am I losing my mind here? Like, I don't want to leave because I feel like I'm going to be missing something. Just kind of looking for anything that has to do with Mark, but yeah, we've gone through them and nothing, so
I guess I'll just come back later.
So all right, let's go talk to the Prussian, Volner. Oh, I can't leave yet. Okay, so we are still missing something. Okay, to Mark, who will reveal them.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan.
Okay.
And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
Okay, that's all. Am I misreading this?
And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body."
Yeah, but it's, I've read all these and there's nothing.
To him, the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
Alright, it also would suck a lot less if I didn't have to completely exit, if it didn't kick me out and then I have to go back and figure this out again. Yeah, I can't
come back later.
Oh, this is absolutely infuriating. I can't figure this shit out.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini.
Okay, that one's John, and that's not going to be any help. I need something with Mark, but... First group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them?
St. Paul, painted by Guido Rini. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
Is that of any importance? I'm serious. I've got to be missing something. And there's just too much to just chunk through all of these. Mother of God.
I guess I'll just come back later.
I don't know. I don't know where to go to from here, guys. I can't leave this room yet until I figure this puzzle out, and I don't know jack shit about the Bible. So I maybe I'm overlooking something. Maybe I'm being too literal when it's talking about Mark, but I'm gonna edit and figure this shit out.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
Okay, I have no idea what just happened. I was just flipping through them and found this totally by accident.
I'm guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together.
I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Okay, I have no clue what was happening just now. I am so freaking confused. I mean, like, while I was just reading those things, I did not understand. Yeah, because the thing was hidden in some ridiculous... Oh my god, that was irritating. God damn. I think, like, I found a review for this, and somebody was saying that this was just... Compared this to, like, those old point-and-click puzzle games in the 90s, where some of them just got absolutely ridiculous. Like, they weren't happy with this episode, because they're just saying all the kind of niche concepts that they made in the first game just fell apart in this one. And I kind of see that if this is a preview of the rest of the episode, I have to agree with that. This is already not as strong. I mean, it didn't start very coherently. It was kind of confusing, and then that gigantic mess of a puzzle down to, I don't know jack crap about the Bible. Maybe I don't need to know anything about the Bible, and I'm just not putting two and two together with some things. But it's just, I don't get why. Oh, well, this guy talks about the apocalypse. Okay, so we go in here. So am I supposed to now just read every passage about the apocalypse? I'm so flippin' confused about what we just saw. But I'll end this one here. Go get something to drink and maybe make my head stop hurting. Thank you for watching. Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links, all that stuff is down in the description below. Like, comment, not already. Please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. Until then, I'm AJ Gels. This is the Untitled Game channel. I'm out.